All right, moving on. We're asking the question whether the NFL is too big to fail. Despite rising merchandise sales and television ratings for the NFL, the long-term financial future of football may be in trouble. A new Bloomberg Politics poll suggests that given the violence of the game, most American parents don't want their kids playing the sport. For more on safety concerns in athletics and the NFL's future, I'm pleased to be joined by Andy Dolich. Andy serves as Director of Career Development with the University of San Francisco, and he's a former COO of the San Francisco 49ers. Andy, great to have you here. Let me start by asking you, how would you have answered this poll? Would you say okay to your kids playing football, yes or no?
Well, I'd want my grandkids to be captains of industry so they can own NFL football teams, because I think they're only going through a blip. I do believe too big to fail, but they're not too big to blip.
But you wouldn't let them play.
Oh, I'd let them.
I
would let them play.
You would let them play?
Yes, because I think all sports, including the concussive sports, teach teamwork. They're kind of the last vestige of the town square. They teach all kinds of capabilities in adults, sometimes that are missing in our society.
So I agree with you on the team sports thing. I think team sports are a tremendous learning opportunity for all young people. So maybe let me push this a little further. Would you like to see your child, playing football at the high school or college level where actual damage can really be done?
I think that is the real question. This is a trickle down from the NFL to the 190 million people that follow college football to the tens of millions that follow high school football. We now have a focal point, a laser on concussive injuries, and I think we're going to have the business aspects, the medical and the scientific get together like no time before in our history to make the sport safer. They're going to have to do that.
Only 17% of Americans right now, this is according to the poll, believe that football will grow in popularity amazingly over the next 20 years. The league is already facing this onslaught of negative press. You say they're not too big to fail. I tend to agree with you on this, and yet why is it that only 17% of Americans actually say it's going to become more popular as a sport?
Well, we've all seen polls be incorrect. I'm not saying that this information isn't startling, but I do think that if you look at the size of the business, how it affects this country, it's perfect for the nanosecond attention span, it's perfect for our tribal capabilities, and it's perfect for our merchandising capabilities. We've already created a national holiday called the Super Bowl that adds to all the other national holidays. Football isn't going away, but this is a major warning sign that football hasn't seen in its history. And if it doesn't take care of their business above the shoulder, they can be in serious trouble.
I'm a mother of 3. I've got one boy. There's no way I'm going to let him play football. I got to tell you, and I'm with you. I think team sports are phenomenal.
How about with the helmet from Spaceball?
Maybe if they come up with some amazing kind of gear, right, to protect. But I think that every parent thinks about this kind of stuff nowadays. Nonetheless, it is popular. You think about soccer, for example, right? I mean, every kid in America is playing
twin daughters that played soccer for me, and I look at the concussive injuries that they might have experienced when they were playing soccer through college. You've got lacrosse, you've got soccer, you've got hockey. Now everybody is on notice that they've got to do something about this. They can't look the other way. They can't just call it the macho sport and, just wipe it off, take an ice bag, and you'll be fine tomorrow. As a mother, you have a right to be concerned about your child's health playing any sport.
Yeah. Do you think that the NFL gets this? Do they realize that their future as a business is in jeopardy if enough kids aren't playing the sport on the local level because parents are worried about concussions?
If the NFL doesn't get it, they're going to get it. And in terms of their business shrinking, I think that can be the factor. Whether that 17% is real or not, only time will tell. But without doubt, the focus on concussions is the longest-term headache that the NFL and a lot of other concussive sports face today, and they have to do something about it, not 3 years from now, but right now, in terms of equipment, in terms of proper tackling. Look at rugby. A really difficult sport. They know how to tackle right. They don't seem to have the same amount of concussions that American football, and nobody's going to say rugby players aren't the toughest guys on the planet.
Why is it that they don't have the same kind of concussions?
Well, they don't wear helmets. It's how you tackle. There's no head hunting, and you've seen football change its rules significantly over the last few years. I think you're going to see continued change in football to try to make it safer. But it is a T-bone sport, and you have large bodies running into each other. They're going to do more.
In the meantime, Jamie, no way. All right, thank you so much. Andy Dolich, former